be honest, I don't
What's
really
the
know.
deal with airline
What's
food?
the deal with airlines? That's a better opening than I could have come up with. Hello, ladies.
This is now a Seinfeld podcast.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk the Seinfeld, where we talk Seinfeld and Seinfeld. So remember that Seinfeld where the thing happened? That was funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like the B
Remember
movie.
when Kramer burst in the door?
Oh man, remember when Kramer was a turkey?
God, man.
Remember when Joey put the turkey on his head?
Remember when Seinfeld became Kramer? That was pretty crazy, right? Remember that episode?
Remember when Kramer?
Yes, I do.
I do
absolutely do. Yes.
Remember when Kramer's actual actor said some stuff that he shouldn't have said, and then it was really awkward.
No, I can't say that I did.
No.
Well, it was awkward.
Look. I'm here to talk about Seinfeld.
That's
all right?
true. Yes, not Jerry Seinfeld though, just Seinfeld.
Just Seinfeld.
Yes. Remember B movie?
Anyway.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this episode of Talk the Plank.
Yes. This is a good.
We're still working on the planks. We got the talking down, but we're still working on the planks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm getting a few from the hardware store later today. It's going to be good.
That'll be good. Yeah, we'll be able to use it currently, yes.
Yep. Anyway, I'm Aaron. Hi.
I'm Mitchell.
And I am Zach. And this is a podcast.
Yes, where we talk about stuff and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
technically.
We have had a few weeks since the last podcast, and some stuff happened. Mr. Aaron, please tell us what happened since the last podcast.
Oh God, so many things have happened since the last podcast. Crap, when did we even record the last podcast? What was it? I see the last message we sent here was July 26th, so it was probably then.
Close to a month, yeah.
God.
Yeah. I think it was the 19th because that wasn't the last one, the camping trip story.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was the 19th.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been over a month actually.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with what I've been playing recently. I started playing Risk of Rain 2. Actually, I picked that up because I heard that they had just dropped the final update for it back, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I heard they had dropped it for PC, unaware completely that it takes about 3 months for them to port all updates from the PC to the PS4 version, which is what I bought. So I bought the incomplete version on PS4, which I've been playing pretty religiously for the last few weeks. That game's a blast. Like it's a lot like Binding of Isaac, but obviously in like 3D, and it's freaking insane. Like your screen will just be filled up with like 500 enemies at once, and you'll be shooting or like swinging your big muscle robot arms really hard,
Those are my
and just
favorite
hitting
kinds
a
of
billion things. Yeah, they're my favorite arms too. That's the best character. His name's Loader. He has just big hulking. He's like Ripley at the end of Aliens 2 when she gets in that giant loader robot. It's basically him.
Oh yeah,
and
the part where she gets into the giant robot and she says, "Get away from her, you bitch."
Yeah. That's basically it, and that's basically his whole character in the game.
Yeah, I like that.
And yeah, he's easily the best character. He has an ability where as soon as you hit an enemy, he gets like temporary HP. And the more you hit, the more your temporary HP goes up. So basically, if you run into a mass of like 50 enemies and just start swinging, you basically just become invincible. It's crazy.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, Risk of Rain 2 is a blast. It's multiplayer too. If you're looking for something to play on PC with your friends, I'd recommend getting Risk of Rain 2, especially because it's actually complete on PC and you can beat it, unlike on PS4 where it is currently unbeatable.
Oh no!
Yeah, they don't have the final level in yet. Which kind of stinks. But it's okay. I just have to wait like 2 more months, and then it'll come to PS4, and I can finally play it.
Man, remember back in the 360 where Microsoft charged developers for every update they came out with?
Oh my God, yes,
and how that was the dumbest decision ever.
Thank God we're beyond that.
We're beyond that. We just have delays.
Yeah. I also played. I totally forgot about this. Before Risk of Rain 2, I played Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. In general, I'm not the biggest fan of like third-person open world games, but I had a decent time with Ghost of Tsushima, running around as a ninja samurai. I basically only played as a samurai. You can play. There are a bunch of different outfits, and every outfit has like its own unique skills and whatever. But like the only one you need is the samurai one because it has like the most damage resistance. So it's like there's no reason to run anything else. And that game's pretty fun. It's basically Assassin's Creed set in feudal Japan, which is what everybody's been asking for years.
Oh, they did it before Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. So if you want Assassin's Creed Japan edition, go play Ghost of Tsushima. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun game.
I doubt my laptop can run it at this current point.
It's only available for PS4, so unfortunately, even if it could.
Well, when the PS5 drops,
hey, there you go.
Another one for the list.
Put it on the list.
Put it on the list. It's a very big list. It's kind of daunting.
Don't worry. Eventually, you'll be able to get through it. Everyone gets through their backlog eventually, right?
Eventually, right?
Eventually. But yeah. What else? What else did I play? I guess those are the only two games I played before starting Darkest Dungeon, which I'm playing through right now.
Oh man.
That game is a blast, but good God, is it difficult. Oh my God. Literally, okay, so like the way I started initially, and it was like I got through the first few like tutorial battles fairly easily because they're tutorial battles or whatever.
Right,
so I'm like, this game doesn't seem too crazy hard. And then I lost like 3 characters in the span of like 5 minutes, and I was like, maybe this game is a little difficult.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and then I got to the point after that where I found like the perfect like party setup, because the way the game works is have you played Darkest Dungeon before?
I've seen it played a lot.
I've vaguely heard of it, but I don't really remember what it's about or anything about it.
So much fun. Well, basically the game is about, you have this old ancestor who got like into a bunch of like occultic stuff and like basically ruined his all of his lands because he was like a feudal lord or whatever. So he calls you so he sends you a letter. You're his descendant, to come and reclaim the land by killing and driving out all of the eldritch horrors from the place. The way the gameplay works is you can have a party of 4 characters, and they have a marching order. So you can have them in any order, and certain abilities can only be used in certain positions in the order. So like I could have one character who can only use a certain ability if they're the 3rd person in the order, or the 1st person in the order, and so on and so forth. And so it's basically about optimizing your party based around class and order, and basically finding whichever one's the best and works for you the best. So I found a really, really good order for the classes that I really like. And I was like, dang, I'm steamrolling dungeons. I'm doing awesome, man. I'm destroying everybody. I even wrecked the first boss. And then I got to the second boss. And let's just say it got a little bit more difficult when I got to the second boss. And suddenly everybody was dying again. And but luckily I ended up turning it around after, because I ended up because there's also like a hub world of sorts where you have to, there are a bunch of buildings which give you different upgrades and stuff for your characters, and you have to upgrade those by getting upgrade materials from the dungeons and so on and so forth. So I upgraded my characters a bunch, and eventually I was able to go out and actually start doing good at the game again. But yeah, that game's a freaking blast. I've beaten like 4 bosses so far. I'm 13 hours in, and I am like nowhere close to finish. That game's freaking long. Yeah, so Darkest Dungeon,
that's one of those games where I feel like you're either gonna love it or absolutely despise it.
Yeah.
And
Because
I look at that and I go, I would probably despise this game.
yeah, I thought I was having a blast for a while, like when I was steamrolling dungeons and stuff. But once I hit that roadblock with like the second boss, I thought in my head like, oh god, the game's gonna make me play the buffs and debuffs, isn't it? 'Cause I hate playing RPG.
Having flashbacks to Persona 5.
Oh my
jeez.
god, so many buffs and debuffs.
Oh, if you think that's bad,
like,
wait till Shin Megami Tensei 3 comes out on Switch.
oh my god, yeah,
Oh,
that looks sick. I'm definitely gonna pick that up.
It's
Um,
they're gonna have voice. I think I saw it has voice acting in it, which the original release didn't have, which is really cool.
Really? That's
Ooh.
nuts. But yeah, so I thought, oh god, it's gonna make me use buffs and debuffs. But then luckily, after a while, and you start upgrading your town and getting everything better and stuff, and so you can start upgrading your units more. It becomes a lot easier to use your existing best loadout. So thank God I don't have to balance buffs and debuffs, because like I don't want to have one character slot built up with some guy who's going to spend every turn just making the guy in front of him do 2% more damage per turn. I hate that. I hate it. So luckily I don't have to do that. But Darkest Dungeon is a blast.
How many characters have gone insane?
So there aren't. You can't really have your characters go insane. They can have temporary afflictions, which means like So there's a system called the stress system in the game, where doing certain tasks or being attacked by certain attacks from enemies increases their stress level. Which once it reaches 100, you get something called an affliction, which is basically for the whole dungeon. They do something. There's some like negative debuff on them that lasts until you de-stress them back at town, which you have to pay money to do.
Okay.
There's also a chance, however, once they hit 100 stress, you could also get a boon. So
yeah.
basically, when they get really stressed, they can have like some massive buff as well. But most of the time, it's a debuff.
Yep.
And then once they reach 200, they basically instantly die, which kind of sucks. Because 200 is the max stress threshold. Yeah, so that's how that works.
Yeah.
You regularly and consistently have characters get afflictions because it's very, very difficult to stop them from reaching 100 stress. I've only had one character reach 200 stress, so it's not too shabby.
I think I might be wrong, but I remember like originally the afflictions and boons were permanent things that stayed on them forever. So then eventually,
so they're also what are they called? So there's the afflictions and the boons, which are only in the dungeons.
Mhm.
But after you complete a dungeon, you can get permanent sort of boons and afflictions, which just stay with the character forever.
Okay.
Unless you choose to send them to the hospital to have those afflictions treated, which I've never done, because like it's just a waste of money. Like the afflictions most of the time aren't even that bad, so I don't waste my money. It costs too much. So I'm just like, you know what? I love them, warts and all.
But then
yeah,
the worry is that eventually one of your best characters will become completely worthless because they'll be an anxiety-ridden wreck.
Yeah, basically. I'm really hoping they don't get like one of them really bad debuffs that's like negative 20% damage, because that would just like totally wreck my loadout. I don't have just one party, like, because there are multiple different character classes and you can just continuously recruit characters.
Right.
So I have like 3 or 4 separate parties that I run, because I have to constantly de-stress my other characters because their stress levels just get too stupid high during every run. That I have to send them to like the bar to go drink or something.
You guys are cutting in and out for me.
Uh-oh.
Oh crap.
You guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, you started cutting out for a little bit. Seems to stabilize now.
Okay,
that's good.
Awesome.
Okay, it's all good. Probably just my router. Okay.
Don't you love routers?
Oh, it's so much fun.
But yeah. So I'm 13 hours into that game. Absolutely nowhere close to the end. I'm going to be playing that game for freaking forever. I can already feel it. But that's basically the only other game I played. Ghost of Tsushima, Risk of Rain 2, and that. So I want to talk about Korra now, Legend of Korra, because the last time I was here, the Legend of Korra, I just watched like the first episode or the first 2 episodes or something, and I wasn't too deep into it. And I am feeling just real iffy about it. At the end of it all, I just thought that was not particularly exceptional. It's not okay. It's not bad. I don't think it's. I don't think it's really like as a whole, as the whole show. I don't think it's a bad show, but I certainly do think like after watching that, I'm like, I cannot believe that the same people who created Avatar: The Last Airbender created that because it's just so eh. It's just so eh. That's the general feeling I have. So season one, awesome, great, one of the best. It could definitely hold a candle to some of the best moments in The Last Airbender. Season two was I want to gouge my eyes out after watching
Yes,
that because that was really really bad.
That's
My
the general
favorite part of
consensus.
season two was when they wasted like 5 episodes on a pointless subplot that went nowhere for a character for the best new while introducing the best new character who they then made into a villain who they then unmade into a villain and made into one of the main characters because they realized how badly they screwed up like what is this? Season 2 is awful. Season 2 is
Did you like those 2 episodes that were gorgeously animated but turned the entire conflict in Avatar into a generic good versus evil conflict?
Oh yeah, that was great. I love the whole eternal evil versus eternal good. Yeah,
We made Avatar into the Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, literally, it was. Yeah, no, it completely ruined it. I love because the Last Airbender and the first season of The Legend of Korra and season 3 and 4 as well. Well, to an extent, feels so grounded compared to that. Then they just went like full super duper fantasy on us, which is just like no, it felt so wrong. It didn't feel like it matched the tone of the rest of the show at all. It's awful. However, I will say seasons 1 and 3 are really good. I love seasons 1 and 3. Season 4 was good up until about the halfway point. The mech scenes were certainly cool. They went max anime for the mech scene. Good exploding laser beams. Oh my god, they sure did go max anime. But I felt like the conflict was maybe resolved a little bit too easily, which is for me. But I mean, it was all right. Season 4 was just meh in general. It wasn't as bad as season 2, which is like watching paint dry or like pulling nails. It was awful. I hated that. Good God. But I thought whenever I first went in the show, I had no idea they were doing a different story for every season. So I thought it was just going to be Amon for all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And so when you told me season 2 was awful, I'm like, what could they possibly have done with the Amon plot to make it so bad? Because I'm loving it so far. Like I freaking loved Amon as a villain. He was so good. But then, no, turns out it just resolves in like 2 episodes.
They throw him on out a window, and then his character is kind of just
gone. No, I wanted more. There was so much potential in that plot line. I wish they had given him a different backstory. I don't hate the backstory they gave him, but I think it would have been more creative if they had I don't know, gone with something. I don't know, something different. I don't know, anything.
The best part of his backstory is that it leads up to the boat scene.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe they got away with.
That's the best scene in all of Avatar.
Oh my god! In season 3, they kill off like 3 people on screen. How did they get away with that?
I haven't watched Korra yet.
Okay.
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 Sorry.
Well, don't worry. It's now on Netflix.
Homework.
It's now on Netflix. And
now I have no excuse.
You can watch it and go, oh, okay.
Okay. I've been really busy with work the past few weeks. I've kind of fallen behind.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Things have been picking up. So just be aware of this when you talk about Korra.
Don't worry. Don't worry. The villains are generally the best part of Korra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except for season 2.
Except for season 2.
Okay.
Yep. Except for season 2.
Just season 2 sucks. That is the takeaway you need.
Yeah, all right, just
but
rip the Band-Aid off. Got it.
You literally have to watch it because it's connected to season 3 and 4.
Just gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
You literally have to slog through it so you can get to the good season 3 and the kind of good season 4.
I really like season 4.
Really?
No, it's okay. I like the villain of season 4.
She's
like
so
the
good.
villain of season 4.
She really is so good.
And also, she's voiced by Zelda Williams, and that's really cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I love her as a villain. She's so good.
Yeah.
Like that. Man, you get mad like World War II vibes from her.
I know,
so
it's
good.
Great. It's great. All right.
Yeah, I really liked her as a villain. I wish they had resolved the conflict a little bit. I wish it had taken a little bit longer, that they had drawn it out a little bit more,
Oh,
because it seemed a little sudden to me.
did you
But
see the recap episode in season 4?
yes,
Did
yes,
you
I did
see
watch the
that
recap.
conversation?
I rewatched it like 3 times because I couldn't stop laughing.
That was
Oh
the
my
funniest
God.
thing.
I literally could not stop imagining like Steve Bloom sitting in like the recording booth. That's such a great moment.
Oh man, it sucks that there was a bunch of studio meddling with Nickelodeon in the show.
Yeah,
but
I heard it was all online after like season 4.
Yeah, and I've heard various things as to why they did that. Some of it was I think there's some stuff coming out now where Nickelodeon is saying, well, we did a lot of this because it wasn't getting viewership, so we decided to move it online because the viewership wasn't watching Nickelodeon. The people who were watching it don't watch a lot of Nickelodeon anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I have no idea what happened there. But yeah, it definitely shows. You can tell a lot of the budget is definitely not there for season 4, especially with the recap episode, but like a lot of other details as well. But I mean, I still loved it. I still thought it was great. But yeah, so that was Legend of Korra. Mostly good, but with some very messy moments in there, here and there.
Oh, are you excited for the new live action Avatar: The Last Airbender show?
Which doesn't have the creator signed on anymore?
They jumped ship.
Differences.
Oh boy,
Very
that's
publicly
gonna be
jumped
good.
ship. Oh boy.
They very specifically wanted to let it be known that they were not getting like any creative movement, any creative power over the show whatsoever, which means you just know it's going to be another M. Night Shyamalan ding dong moment. And honestly, it's probably going to be a beautiful train wreck. It's probably going to be worth tuning in just to see how badly it crashes and burns.
It could be that bad again. I don't see how.
Hey,
but
just,
I will
just a reminder.
Here to watch.
Just a reminder. Death Note. I would just like to present.
Yeah, I'm gonna go slap the router.
Oh no! Right. Oh jeez. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, so yeah, I watched Korra. Decent overall. Not as good as The Last Airbender. Not even close.
Unfortunately.
Where were we?
What else did I watch?
We are moving on from Korra.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. No more spoilers for you.
Okay.
Then I started watching.
I think all the spoilers got cut out anyway. On my end.
Sounds like you have good internet.
Oh, it's so fantastic.
It sounds like my internet has colonized your internet.
Yeah. Probably.
I watched a couple of movies. We're actually tonight. We're gonna go see in preparation of the new Bill and Ted movie coming out. Alamo is showing the first Bill and Ted movie in their theater, so we're gonna go and see that tonight.
Fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a blast. But I watched a couple of movies. We Are Little Zombies, which is probably the nutsiest movie I've maybe ever seen. It's a Japanese live action movie about these 4 kids who are like completely emotionless robots whose parents have all died. And they decide to form a band and make music. And basically they become super big. And there's like a million other things that happen in that movie. That movie is a mess of like plots and subplots that are completely like unfollowable to any reasonable and rational human being. There's also like a bunch of like video game references. Like the movie is subdivided into multiple parts, and each one has like a video game cover screen before it. It's actually really neat. I like the aesthetics of the movie a lot, but goodness gracious, it's just that movie is all over the place.
The summary of that plot reminded me of trying to explain the plot of the Bee movie.
Yeah, it's basically that, except considerably more jumbled. It's basically a considerably more incoherent Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh,
That's the
man.
best way I can describe it.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But I watched that. I rewatched Annihilation. That movie's great. I love that movie. Freaking what's her face kills it in that movie.
Natalie
I can't even
Portman.
remember her name. Natalie Portman. Yeah.
Padamame Amidala.
Yes, that one. Padamame. I love that. Yeah, that movie's crazy. I love the alien design in that movie. And then I started watching an anime called Princess Jellyfish, which is an anime about a lot of things. It's about these nerdy otaku girls who all live in this house together, and the protagonist, who's obsessed with jellyfish, meets this cross-dressing guy who basically teaches her how to be feminine, so she and her roommates can use their feminine wiles to stop a redevelopment project from destroying their apartment. It's crazy.
You find the weirdest shit, man.
What the heck is this?
It's really good. It's actually really good. I like it. But yeah, no, it's pretty weird.
Again, remember in high school when you were like, anime is stupid, and now you find weirder shit than we do.
God, that's so true.
I mean,
Oh
to,
my
to be
God.
fair, I've seen some weird stuff in my day. I watched Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, which is an
That's the name.
amazing, dramatic, holy crap, awesome show about a Japanese art form called Rakugo, which is like stand-up comedy, except they're kneeling the entire time, and they're all telling the same stories, and they have like specific props. It's basically if stand-up comedy was invented by Japan.
My friend Cho is super into this show. Yeah, he was telling me about this.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's really hype.
It's great. I watched the first season not too long ago, and I need to watch the second season because it's really good.
Yeah, I need to check that out. I'll put it into my list of like 30 different anime that I literally have opened up in tabs on my web browser right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you guys want me to read all of my read off all my anime
Go
that
ahead,
I put
do
into
it,
my
do it.
backlog?
Go ahead, go for it.
Do it.
All right, I've got Humanity Has Declined, which have you seen the gif of the robot bread where it like rips its head in half? Have you seen? I need to find the gif of that
What?
because that's how I figured it.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
I think I know.
One sec. Let me find. I'm gonna find the clip. I'm gonna send it to you. But yeah, it's basically where like humans have like all are starting to die off or whatever, and so this girl goes to be like an emissary to fairies who have like taken over in humans' absence. It's so weird. It sounds like such a weird concept, which is exactly why I want to watch it. I need a shorter clip. Wait, where is this it? Oh yeah, this is it. Oh my God.
This is very
Yeah,
entertaining
but,
for our audio listeners.
Yeah, very much so. It just edit it out. You can cut it out in post.
Yes, don't. For our audio listeners, go look up this thing called the Bleeding Bread.
The
Jinrui wa suitai shimashita.
But yeah, so I have that in the in the list. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily watch it because it's kind of been sitting in there for a while now. Kind of just been soaking up the past. But yeah, that I have a new game in the list, which is about that girl who goes to be a game developer. I have Bloom Into You because I've heard that's really good. My Next Life is a Villainess. All Routes Lead to Doom. Have you guys heard about this one?
I have heard of it.
I've
Yes.
heard the name. I've
Yes.
heard the name.
Basically, a girl dies and is reincarnated into her favorite video game world, where she's the villainess and she has to figure out how not to die and stuff. And everybody falls in love with her. And I thought it sounded pretty interesting, so I wanted to watch
Naturally.
it. Charlotte or Charlotte, I don't know. It's that one, you know, that there's that meme where the girl holds up the bread or the two melons or whatever, and the guy holds up the bread, and she's like, You probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No.
It's that show. Hamoto Umaru-chan, which is about that girl who transforms into the weird hamster beast and like eats stuff. I'm sure if you saw the image, you would know.
What?
It's one sec. I'll link here. I'll link to it. Yeah.
Oh man.
You'll probably once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I have indeed heard of this. Yes.
I have Toilet-Bound Hanaku-kun, which I have no idea what this is about, but the art style looks really cool, so I wanted to check it out.
Aaron. Aaron, we need to talk.
Look, man, I don't have a problem, all right? I don't have a problem.
We're here because we're concerned.
Gone are the days where we have to go up to you and say, Aaron, please watch Gurren Lagann. It's so
please
good.
Watch Gurren. Please watch Full Metal Alchemist.
Cowboy Bebop is amazing, and it's closer to shows you like. So please, and then no.
So, you guys, anime is stupid. I would never like it ever.
And now we've come to this, where Aaron just goes, hey, I saw this one clip in a meme. I'll watch the show.
I watched the whole show.
It is true that like 90% of the shows I want to watch come from memes I see online.
Not even recommendations of, hey, this is funny, or hey, this is cute, hey, this story's really good, or hey, the animation's great. Nah, this is memes.
Yeah, no. I'll see. I'll be browsing Reddit, and somebody will post a meme with this one anime in it, and I'll be like, "That looks like a really interesting anime. Better add it to the list." I don't know what it's about. Like 90% of the time, I go to look it up, and like the scores are like for 90% of the anime I look up, the scores are just garbage. Just like it's straight. Like everybody's like, "Why would anybody ever watch this anime? It's so bad," and I'm just like. Should I put this one in the list?
Oh my gosh.
And I must shamelessly admit that there are a few times in which I did.
One of these days, Aaron's just gonna come on the podcast and say, "So, guys, I've been watching this really cool show called Interspecies Reviewers."
It's really great.
You got any memes? You got any memes about that show for me? I'll probably start liking the show.
I'm sure.
There has. It's like that's the one where the dude with the hyena girl.
Oh, I am aware.
To which then I replied.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
The look on Aaron's face, I still can see it.
Oh man.
You're just like, oh yeah, it's a dude getting railed in the ass by a hyena girl, and I'm like, yeah.
It wasn't in the butt because that was the episode where they took the potion that swapped the gender.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I go, oh yeah, that makes total sense because hyenas actually have pseudo penises.
Yep.
And I look over at Aaron, and it's just this mix of like disgust, shock, and concern.
And fascination.
Listen, man, I'm a wildlife biologist. I'm allowed to know these things.
All right. Let me continue the list. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. All right. Next one on the list. Interspecies Reviewers. Now, I have one called Silver Spoon. I don't know what it's about. I just about it.
That's the one that Arakawa wrote after Full Metal Alchemist.
Is studious Yugo Hachikin is studious, hardworking, and tired of trying to live up to expectations he just cannot meet. That's a long description. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Oh wait. Here's a synopsis. Jinno Saji follows the comedic story of a young student as he tries to fit into a completely new environment, meeting many unique people along the way. As he struggles to appreciate his surroundings, Hachikin hopes to discover his dreams so that he may lead a fulfilling life on his own terms.
It's farm stuff.
Yeah, it looks really interesting.
No, it's made by the same lady who made Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh.
Yeah, it looked really interesting. It's ranked pretty high on my anime list too, which is why I was drawn to it. There's also after that Servant X Service, which may or may not have a bunch of maids in it. Maid girls maybe possibly has them. Yes. Soul Eater. I saw a bunch of videos for that.
Yeah.
A bunch
Soul
of clips.
Eater's good.
Really want to watch it. Barakamon. Which has something to do with manga or something. I don't know. It looked pretty interesting.
Is it Bakuman?
No, Barakamon.
Barakamon.
It's
I don't know.
Yeah, it has something to do with calligraphy. Blah blah blah.
Because I know Bakuman is about a team who a duo team that writes a manga, and it was made by the same guys who made Death Note, the same team that made Death
Oh
Note.
yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah, I don't think that's this.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's a different one. Yeah, it has to do with calligraphy. Yeah, not manga. I was actually thinking about the manga one.
Y'all keep going. I'm gonna reset the router real quick. It's getting real bad.
Don't worry, I'm sure there will be plenty of anime to keep us busy.
There's actually just one more. Monogatari. This whole series.
Monogatari. If you're starting that thing.
Yeah, I've been holding off on watching it because I saw how many different series of it there were, and I was like, I don't know if I want to have this kind of investment.
There is
I feel like I'm going to be watching
this. There's Ike Monogatari. There's Bake Monogatari. There's all these other Monogataris that I don't freaking know.
Yeah, there's so freaking many. So I have it. I have the first one pulled up right here, or I could look up the list because people have a chronological watching order list for all of the different series.
Is this
just like
this is like watching Gundam or Fate Stay Night?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was going to reference that because that's basically it. Somebody has like, this is the recommended watching order because when I was Googling it to see which one I should watch first. But I think I'm probably just going to watch it in the order they were released. Because, I mean, hey, that's how everybody else watched them, right? But yeah, so I have that pulled up, and we'll eventually get around to it. So we'll see. Anyway, that's the anime.
I'm not brave enough to get into Monogatari.
It's because there's too much of it?
There's too much, and I've got too many other anime that are too much.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've watched 2 Gundam series, okay?
Oh my god.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Most of the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. But all I know about Gundam is that there's just a billion. There's just a billion of them.
So here's how Gundam works. You have your Universal Century timeline, which is the main timeline that the first Gundam series back in I think 1970, or 79. I think it was 79.
That sounds right.
Yeah, back in 1979, the first Gundam series, and the timeline continues on from there. The Universal Century timeline. It was Gundam 0079, Gundam Zeta, Gundam Double Zeta, Char's Counterattack, the movie, and then a bunch of other stuff that's all like.
Yep, that's Japan.
A bunch of other stuff that's like OVAs and things.
Yeah.
Like Gundam Unicorn and what was it? I forget the one. I watched one. It was kind of inspired by like Vietnam War stuff, except more visually inspired by Vietnam War stuff. But it was all right. But the original Gundam's actually really good. It's also freaking old.
Yeah, I bet.
Freaking old. And it gets to the point, like, especially later on, where you're watching an old anime and you're like, wow, this is old. Look at those character designs. That's old. And then you watch Gundam and you're like, hold on. Is that a hair? That is a hair in the frame. That is a freaking
Oh wait,
hair.
Seriously?
Yes. You're seeing the shot of space and there's a hair.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
And then there's a ton of animation errors. Like, apparently no one at Sunrise at the time had a ruler, because there are a lot of times when the Gundams are bending a little wonky and they're not supposed to bend like that. And then there's one of my favorite moments ever, a point where it's a close-up shot of the Gundam turning around with its gun, like turning toward the camera and firing, but before it turns, the gun is already drawn at the front, but you still see the gun turning, so it kind of snaps into place.
Oh yeah, like they used like they had like the keyframes or the animation cell or whatever already put in.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's crazy.
It's great. I love it. And the story is actually legitimately very, very, very good.
Yeah, it sounds super interesting.
But you have the Universal Century timeline, and most Gundam fans are like, yeah, that's the best stuff. And then you have all these alternate timelines. That's where you get like Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, which is terrible. Turn A Gundam, which is really weird because it's like the converging point of all the timelines, apparently.
Oh dang!
And
Yeah,
also
they had to put them all together somehow. They were getting so crazy with all the different timelines.
Oh no, there's still stuff in Universal Century Timeline. Gundam Thunderbolt came out somewhat recently, like about 5-6 years ago, I want to say, and it takes place in Universal Century Timeline, and it's really good. I watched the first episode, and it's like that. Oh man, that animation is gorgeous.
Nice.
Yeah. But Turn A Gundam, the only things I know about it are that it's like supposed to be kind of a converging point, and that oh yeah, the cockpit of the Gundam is of course cock.
Oh, nice. Absolutely beautiful. That reminds me of whatchamacallit, with the 02. What's the name of that anime? Oh God, it's from the people who make Gurren Lagann. What is it called? Well, their most recent one.
Kill
with
Kill? No,
because they have like the I don't know. It's another mecha anime. Oh my God!
Oh dang it! I think I know what you're talking about. Darling in the Franxx, is that it?
That one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
where they have to be in like sex positions to pilot the robots.
Yeah, and then that show just kind of fell apart.
Oh, we're talking about Studio Trigger?
Yes, we're talking about Studio Trigger.
Did the magic.
We said the
That's
magic
what
words.
Studio Trigger.
If you say Studio Trigger in the mirror 3 times, Mitchell shows up behind you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, have you guys watched Brand New Animal yet?
No.
I have not.
I've watched like half of it. I watched whenever it first released, like way back in like March, April. I watched like the first 8 episodes that released in the US before the rest of the episodes ended up being ported over. And I really liked it. I haven't watched the rest of it yet. I need to get around to it. It's good though. It's a good show. Anyway, I have one more thing that I've watched since the last
Did you
time.
say you were watching Darling in the Franxx?
No, I was mentioning because we were talking about Gundam and how there's like a Gundam which apparently is a giant penis or something.
Well, no. The cockpit is in the cock.
Oh, okay.
It is a literal cockpit.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes total sense. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's right. One more show. It's not even an anime this time, which is crazy for me.
Oh,
but
my.
I've been watching Dark. Have you guys heard of Dark?
I've heard of it. I've heard some good things about it.
Yes, it's a German Netflix show, in which these kids start disappearing under mysterious circumstances in this small German town, and it mirrors events that occurred 33 years into the past, and that show is nuts. I cannot wrap my head because it's a mystery show. It's mystery to the max, where you are sprinkled so few details. I'm on the second season, season 2, episode 5. I just got to like the biggest possible reveal, and I still don't know what's going on. Like they give like the big moment, like where everything's been revealed, and it's just like I still don't get it. I was like, but like there are 37 more plot details that don't fit into this plot detail. What's happening? But it's amazing. They really know how to string along the viewer, because I genuinely can't stop watching. I've been binging like 4 or 5 episodes a day for like the last 3 or 4 days. I'm already like halfway done with it, or like over halfway done with it. But I actually don't know if it's completed yet. I know there are 3 seasons on Netflix, and I'm pretty sure that's it. That's all 3. But I honestly have no idea.
That sounds like old Stephen King.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's I think what is it called? The one with where he goes back to try to save or kill Kennedy, or whatever it's called.
11. It's dang it.
That one. The one with the
It's the day of Kennedy's assassination.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. I don't want to spoil any major plot details, but it gets pretty nuts though. There are like 20 different characters you have to follow, and like literally by the end of an episode, because sometimes they'll just have an episode where they won't cover like half of the characters at all, because they have so much time to make up for all these other characters, which just gets nuts. because by the time you end that episode, you're like, but wait, no, I need more from them. I barely know what happened. But yeah, that show's great. I'm having a blast with it. I'm getting close I'm about halfway through season 2. There are 3 seasons. Check it out. It's awesome.
I will give that a shot.
And that's basically all I've done in the last month or so.
That is quite a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been a busy boy.
A very busy boy. Mitchell.
About you, Mitchell.
Have you been a very busy boy?
I have been busy at work, so I've not done too much game or anime wise.
Way to be a responsible human being.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Oh, wait. I forgot to mention. Just a quick aside. I went to Disney World with the fam.
Yeah.
They had a cool new Star Wars ride. That was a sick ride. We only got to go on it once because you had to schedule your place in line ahead of time.
Oh,
and there are only
wow.
Yeah, there are only 2 times a day in which you can register. And literally all spots fill up in 15 seconds. Yeah. So you literally have to get in, schedule your spot in that time frame, or you're done. So we literally, the first time we tried, we got it. And then we tried again 4 times after that and failed every single time.
Oh, man.
There was just no hope. But yeah, there's a new Star Wars ride. It's cool. It's really cool going to the park when not a whole lot of people are there, because the rides just go really quickly. They were all practicing social distancing and mask wearing and all that. So luckily everybody here came back coronavirus free, which is pretty cool.
Yay.
So yeah, but yeah, no, it was really cool to go there when it was super empty and to see all the new rides and stuff. Totally fun. Recommend it. Just don't get sick with the coronavirus or anything. Anyway, sorry. That's the last thing. Go, Mitchell.
All right. Let's see. So yeah, busy few weeks at work, so I haven't had too much time to do stuff. But I did go hiking one weekend at the state park that I got rained at. Because it rained so hard, and all the trails are go through this creek bed, so they had to close them all for flash flooding. So I didn't even get to go hike the next day.
Golly.
So I went back and hiked there after everything dried up, so that was fun.
That was like a blast.
Yep.
Do they have nice hiking trails over there?
It was... Yeah, they were pretty nice. It was a nice, pretty area. I think I posted photos on Facebook and...
Oh, yeah, I think I saw those.
Yeah, those. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, yeah, I was talking about last time starting Far Cry 3.
Oh, yeah?
Blazed through that in a week.
Oh.
Just nice.
Just blazed through it in a week. Nice junk food video game.
That is exactly how I describe Far Cry 3.
Yeah. Been starting the Salt and Sanctuary runs with you two.
Yeah.
That's been fun.
Oh, man.
I haven't gotten that far with Aaron. I think we're only at the second boss.
Yeah. But we were steamrolling everyone. We were destroying them. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
It's a blast with 2 people.
I don't know if I've ever played a game where there are so many points where I go, man, this is really cool, this is great, followed almost immediately by, man, this is terrible.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yep.
So I remember the dragon worm getting glitched for Nelson and him having to beat it on his own.
God.
Oh, man.
You also had to fight the Tree of Men by yourself. That was impressive, actually.
That was
because a stupid saltback knocked me down, and then it stepped on me, and I died immediately into the fight. And I'm just like, all right, here's what you do, Nelson. Here's how you beat it.
And then I did.
And then you managed to do it, which is genuinely impressive, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
It didn't even feel that difficult. It was just tedious.
That's the thing, is that it's so tedious, is that you get greedy and then you die.
Oh no!
Yeah,
see,
that's the problem.
See, I played Dark Souls multiple times.
So not to do that.
My patience for waiting for an opening is unparalleled at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly what that boss teaches you, is to not get greedy, and that's why it's so annoying. But so yeah.
Yeah, I died on
hopefully
that boss,
I'll be more useful the next few bosses.
Yeah,
but hopefully I want to see Nelson's reaction when we finally get to the Witch of the Lake. I'm not going to help. I'm going to sign out and have you fight it a few times on your own so that you understand.
I
Why?
don't like bullet hell.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
felt the same
be
for that.
great for me to watch.
I don't like bullet hell.
Well, it's gonna be great. No,
Well,
don't worry about
here. Once we can record that, and then we'll have another bonus episode of Talk the Plank.
it. That was the first bonus episode coming along.
I'm going to need to buy just break down and pay for either new editing software or something that can convert the file into something that my current editing software likes.
Yep. And I doubt they're cheap.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So it's on hold for the time being because financially,
yep.
It's
Understandable.
But jobs are going to start back up pretty soon for me because school year's starting, so I can start subbing again. Even though my school district is deciding to go until like the middle of September without being in person. But
yep.
Oh dang.
But
better get your plague doctor mask ready.
Yep.
Walk into school with the plague doctor mask and like a full medieval cloak.
Yes. And the wide brimmed hat too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And gloves.
I need to get the hat, I guess. I just have the mask.
Then start talking in a very low Italian accent.
Let's see. Work's been a little crazy. I don't know what's going on, but carcasses have definitely been picking up. That's just unfortunate. Nothing endangered, fortunately, but
that's very good.
At times.
Yeah, it sucks.
Dang, that does suck.
So I've been super busy, so I basically just go home, cook, eat, watch like one episode of a cartoon, and go to bed.
Oof.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. So sounds like it's exhausting having to walk around all the time. I think you cut out a little bit.
Cut out a little bit.
Yeah. Am I cutting out?
Only
just right there. Yeah.
And maybe right here.
I think it's just happening again.
Oh no. Mitchell!
Mitchell has died.
Mitchell is dead. Not a big surprise. Oh boy, this is
why
great
is it
Hello?
Oh thank God. Okay. I go home, I watch a cartoon. What have I been watching? I've been watching the 2 new Disney cartoons, The Owl House and Amphibia.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I've heard The Owl House is really good.
I've been enjoying it. The main character's a bit bland, but everything else has been fantastic.
Yeah, I've really wanted to start watching that. It's been a while since I watched, besides The Legend of Korra and The Last Airbender, regular, one of them Western cartoons.
One of them Western
It's a nice, simple cartoon. Amphibia's also been kind of fun.
Which one's that? Phoebe?
Amphibia? The one where the girl goes to the frog world or some crap?
Oh, no, I don't know.
That's
frogs.
No, I hate frogs.
What?
I hate them so much.
What?
Formative experiences, man.
Such a random thing to hate. Frogs.
They're the worst. I hate them so much.
What? Explain.
Okay.
Explain yourself.
There's this thing called formative experiences. I didn't have one singular big formative experience with frogs. I have had multiple smaller formative experiences with frogs. The earliest I can remember is when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I was walking up and to my house after hanging out with a friend. His parents dropped me off. I'm walking up, and it's kind of dark on the walk up, and then this big black thing just jumps out right in front of me and freaks me out, and it was a frog. Then the other formative experiences are at camp. People would, at the little day camp I went to, people would go down to the creek and they would pick up frogs and kind of just like almost toss them at people, and then it would pee in their hands and stuff, and they'd chase people around with the pee in their hands. Formative experiences, man. And then in high school, or no, not high school, junior high, my fears were confirmed when I found out that frogs have fangs.
Oh, do they? Oh,
yes.
That's fangs frogs? I've never heard of that.
Frogs have fangs.
That's nuts. Oh my God.
Yes, it's terrible.
So let's see. What else? I got back on Xenoblade a little bit.
Good. How far are you?
Good. Basically, I've just gone to the next area from like the last village you find.
Okay.
It's so hard to talk about Xenoblade, Aaron. You don't understand. Everything's a spoiler right now.
Yep. Oh, dude, even for me, everything's a spoiler because I am on the final chapter.
Oh boy. Okay.
I could deafen myself if you guys can talk spoilers for a second.
Nah. Because basically, I just spent 2 hours making gems and selling off old equipment that I don't need.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Just did a little more exploring.
Playing
Morrowind.
Oh yeah. How you been loving Morrowind?
It's pretty good. It finally clicked. It took a little while for it to click in the head.
Morrowind's a weird game. There's so many more systems in it than like Oblivion and Skyrim. It can just be so dizzying.
It is much less user friendly.
What finally got it to click was like treat it more like a tabletop D&D campaign than the actual video game.
Oh.
And that's kind of what got it to click.
Yeah, it makes sense. 100%.
Yeah. Because everything is like a dice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
The combat's really annoying in the first few hours.
You swung your sword, it missed.
You missed. You missed a rat. You died to a rat because you missed 20 times in a row. Have fun. I don't care that your alchemy level is level 48. You failed to craft a simple potion 48 times in a row. Screw you. I don't care that it's a 98% chance to open this lock. You failed and your lockpick broke.
God, missing a rat 20 times in a row sounds so much like Darkest Dungeon. Like,
for me,
there's so many enemies
it's
in
those
that
stupid
game.
cliff racers that pop out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Freaking, they just swarm you, and you're just swinging away like, just die already, please, just die. But
yeah, enemies in freaking Darkest Dungeon have the craziest dodge stats. Like literally, it's just like a total crapshoot. Sometimes, whenever I see spiders show up, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like a 10-round combat right here, because it's literally just like, I use my area of effect attack that hits 3 of them at once. Great, dodge. Oh, that's okay. I'll just use my other character who has that same move. Dodge. Well, that sucks. Luckily, I have another character with another area of effect move right behind him. Dodge. Okay, thanks. Wow, I'll just go kill myself now.
Oh man, Mitchell, remember some of those fights in Persona 3?
Isn't it fun?
Oh my god.
Isn't it fun when your highest level Hamamudo attack misses all 3 enemies that are weak to it?
And then they use a regular Hama attack on you and it hits.
Yep. And it hits.
And there goes an hour of progress.
Woo, that's why you always have to carry homunculi.
Yep.
Man, this Persona game sounds pretty good.
I've
never heard of this Persona series. It sounds like something I might be interested in.
Yeah,
just maybe.
Might like Persona.
Yeah, just maybe.
But yeah,
let's see.
Those rat creatures in Morrowind are just nuts.
Let's see. What have I been doing?
Save loading like a billion times as a kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally before every single freaking encounter, because I would literally just die over and over and over again due to the bad RNG, and then
finally it worked in your favor, and you just wipe the floor with them, and it's like why?
Yeah.
Why?
Hey, you rolled good.
Yeah, I rolled super good. Let's see. What have I been doing in Morrowind? Let's see. Trying to join as many guilds as possible and do their quest. Found the random dude who falls from the sky. Oh, I got the boots of blinding speed.
Yes. Oh my god.
Boy.
My favorite part.
It literally adds an effect that's
100%
blindness. So your screen is just black, but you can run fast. And so I still use them because you can just use the mini map as a general guide of where you're going. But your screen is black. You can't see anything.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Oh, I've stopped moving on the mini map. I guess I've run into a tree. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta unequip boots, realign, put the boots back on, keep going. Let's see. Oh, I found like this Nord who you just find standing by the road in his underwear. And he's like, this vile witch cast a hex on me and stole all my stuff. You gotta help me find her. She's like northwest of here, I think, which is a fun thing in Morrowind, where they won't give you a location. They'll just be like, there's like these bandits in a cave east of here, I think. I don't know. Go find them. They don't tell you where things are, and you just have to go look around and pray you find it.
Yeah,
Or look it up.
I literally don't remember that because I just murdered everybody and I never did any quests. My quest was to kill everybody. So I literally remember nothing about the quest system in that game.
No, but it's great because back to the Nord guy, you finally find the woman he's talking about. And she's like, oh yeah, that jackass. I was traveling with him and he was getting a little handsy. So I thought I'd teach him a lesson. I'd give him his stuff back in like 3 days if he come meets me. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to kill her now. And so you have to decide, do I help murder this poor woman or do I murder the Nord? What?
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Morally great choices.
Yeah. And like, I guess I believe the woman, I guess. I don't know. He seems a bit weird.
You did find him on the side of the road in his underwear.
Yes, that is true.
It's the fact where she's like, I will give him his stuff back. Just wait 3 days. And he's like, no, murder now. And I'm like, okay. There was another quest where like, I'm like hanging around in the thieves' den and this dude's like, oh, hey, will you transport this slave for me back to this town? And I'm like, I don't really want to do that, but I guess I'll see where this goes. And I deliver her to the house, and the dude immediately starts trying to stab her.
Oh.
And I like jump in front and talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, thanks. She's carrying illicit drugs in her stomach, so I have to kill her."
Oh my god!
And I'm like, "Okay, can I kill you instead?" And so I do. And the slave's like, "Oh good, he's dead. Could you drop me off at like this sanctuary that will help me like get back home?" And so I have to do another quest of trying to find this random person to help her out.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh, boy.
It's just a roller coaster of what's happening right now.
Fantastic.
Sounds
so
like
Morrowind's been a blast.
Sounds like
All right, well, anything
That might
else?
be just about it, actually, for me.
All right.
What about you, Sir Zachary?
Well, I had quite a week. The biggest just life event was that I got into a wreck.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. My brother's fine. The guy who was in the other car is fine. Just
You cut out. I just heard a wreck. Hang on, go back.
Yes, I was in a wreck. I'm fine. My brother's fine. He was in the car with me. The guy in the other car is fine. It was not my fault. Legally, it was his fault. Technically, it's not really anyone's fault. It was a bit of traffic. I was in the right turn lane, going up to the highway.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And the entire lane next to me was
All right,
just...
third time's the charm. I'm back.
Okay.
Third time's the charm. Try it again from the top.
So I was in the right turn lane going up to the highway. I'm driving there. The entire lane next to me is completely filled with cars, and there's like one spot where there's no cars. And as I'm getting up to that part, I can't even see it because it's just cars next to me. I just see a line of cars. And as I'm getting up close to the highway, this guy turns in from the turn lane on the other side of the cars, right in front of me, and bam. And the guy in the lane next to me, the lane in between us, like waved him over, not even looking to see if I was coming. So it sucks, but the car can be fixed. Insurance is paying for it. And in the meantime, I have a rental car that is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, it's not awesome that
it's
not
the
wreck.
Awesome because I had to deal with insurance for a few days, but it's not.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's good. It's good that things are working out.
Yeah,
what I mean.
Oh, the rental place was pretty bad though because the first car they gave me was a smoker's car, and they told me no smoking.
Oh no.
So yeah, I gave that back the next day and got a different car, and this car's nice. And before I left, they gave that other car to someone else. Didn't even wash it or anything.
Oh, that. Well, I hope
that's concerning. That's concerning.
Yeah,
likes to smoke.
I hope they do. I hope they do. So going into things that matter less, I suppose. Aaron, you talked about the show Dark not covering half the characters in some episodes.
Yeah.
That reminded me of a show that I actually finished this past month, Twin Peaks.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
What do you think? Is this your first time watching it?
Yeah, it's my first time actually getting through the whole thing. I haven't watched the third season yet.
Oh, well, it has basically nothing to do with the first two.
Yeah,
so I mean,
no. This is the first time I've actually gotten through the whole thing. I've tried 2 times before, and I would get not like a few episodes into the second season, and then I just stopped for one reason or another. No real reason. I just stopped.
Yeah.
But this time I got all the way through, and holy crap, that final episode, man!
It's nuts.
That's one of the best things I've ever seen on television.
They just let David Lynch just completely off his leash for that one. I can't
believe that aired on broadcast television. That aired on CBS in 1992.
Legitimately nuts. Just absolute nuts. That's the only way I can describe it.
Just one of the strangest things I've ever seen, and it ends on the worst cliffhanger ever.
Man, if you thought that finale was nuts, for the season after that, no spoilers, but for the season after that, one of the 2 writers, because David Lynch and it was
Mark Frost.
Can't remember the name. Yeah, Mark Frost. Frost did not come back for the newest season, so it's literally all David Lynch all the time.
Boy.
That the third season is basically like the last episode, continuously nonstop for however long it is. So I hope you're ready for that.
I will attempt to be ready for that.
It's good though. I mean, it's nuts, but in the best possible way. It's literally, I can't. Oh my god. Okay, so this isn't a spoiler, but do you want me to tell you about one scene that just sort of encapsulates the feeling of season 3?
Is it the scene where it's just shot reverse shot for like 5 minutes, and then someone says a line, and then it's shot reverse shot for another 5 minutes?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, that describes quite a number of different scenes in season 3. But there is one scene where it's just a guy sweeping a floor for like 5 straight minutes, and then he picks up a phone, says like, yeah, I'll get back to you. Thanks. And then he goes back to sweeping for like another minute, and then it cuts, and that's it. that's like 6 minutes of an episode in season 3.
Okay, so there's a scene before all the crazy stuff in the last episode where a guy walks for like, I swear, like there's like 5 minutes where it's the same shot of a guy. He walks, and then he meets some guys, and then someone talks, and then it's more walking, and the scene is like 15, or not 15, because that would cut into the crazy Lynch time, but it's like 10 minutes long of the same shot, no cutting for any of the walking. You got to see this old guy walk for all that time, and it pays off really well at the end of that scene. But what you're describing, there's no payoff, because David Lynch just says,
Yeah, no, there's literally no payoff. It's just a guy sweeping a floor for like 5 straight minutes. He answers the phone, says like, yeah, continues to sweep, and then that's it. That's like the whole scene.
Lovely.
I don't even think we know who that guy is. I think it's just a random guy. It's like he doesn't even have a role in this story.
Oh,
but yeah, so that's basically season 3. But there are some good moments in season 3 too.
Yeah. And I also watched the movie Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me.
I have not seen that yet.
It is very good. The only thing I really have to complain about is that Donna's actor didn't come back for the show.
Dang.
So she's got a different actress.
I've heard apparently it changes like the continuity or like the lore of the first two seasons.
There's a bit more lore about the weird, crazy stuff, the weird mythology kind of stuff. It's more that you get a bit more detail about that, and there's one just bizarre scene where David Bowie shows up.
Yes, I heard about this,
and it's just the most bizarre thing ever because he shows up and they cut most of his scene, and it's in Twin Peaks: The Missing Pieces, which is 90 minutes of cut footage from the movie.
God.
And that his full extended scene is very good, but in the actual movie it's interspliced with stuff that has basically nothing to do with the scene, and you barely get any of it, and it's bizarre. But but the only real retcon I can think of is that there's something that is very explicit in the show. Like, it is very explicit that this person did this or this person did not do this. I'm trying to speak in code.
Yeah, I got you.
And in the movie, it's kind of blurred as to whether or not they did or did not do that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But it's a very good movie. It's a very sad movie because it's a prequel, so it's
about the
events leading up to Laura Palmer's death.
Yeah,
and but it's also a sequel.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, it just like stuff. There's stuff in there that relates to the finale of Twin Peaks season 2. And it's like, okay, and also you can tell the production of the show was troubled, as they say, because because I think the first shot of the movie is it's static on it's a TV showing static, and it slowly shows the credits over the static, and it slowly pulls out so you see the TV, and then an axe goes through the TV.
Dang.
You wonder how David Lynch felt about the way the show got axed?
Yep. That's I can see that.
So that was great. At some point I'm going to finish up the Missing Pieces, and I'll watch Twin Peaks: The Return at some point.
Yes.
I'll probably give it a bit because I'm a little Twin Peaksed out.
Oh yeah, if you're Twin Peaks out now, watching Twin Peaks: The Return would destroy you.
Oh, that would
there would be nothing left.
Oh dude, that shot where in the last episode where the girl it has the strobe light and the girl, and she's screaming, and then she just walks toward the camera.
Oh my god, yeah, that's wow.
It's so unsettling. It's great.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that got me to actually finally push through this time was because I listened to Castle Super Beast podcast. Fantastic podcast. Yeah. You should listen to it. And Pat on the podcast was playing Deadly Premonition 2.
And yes.
Talked a little bit about Deadly Premonition. And I thought, okay, I'm interested in playing Deadly Premonition, but it is not Twin Peaks. So I should probably watch Twin Peaks first. And so I did play a little bit of Deadly Premonition on the Switch.
That is one heck of a game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's on my list too of things to play.
Yeah.
That is about 5% of a game, I would say, roughly.
Yeah. So
5 to 10%.
I'm watching the opening cutscene of the game, and it's like running at 30 FPS. It's stuttering. There's a bunch of VSync issues, bunch of screen tearing, and there's one point where these two kids are playing with a ladybug, and they're like passing it on each other's hands, and their hands get close to each other and they start vibrating, and it looks like they're about to like clip into each other and bug out. And that's a pre-rendered cutscene. Because the game runs at 60 for most of the time. You know, until you get out into the town and you're driving, and then stuff starts to load in. Also, that car is the worst controlling car I've ever played in a video game. It beat out the Mako from Mass Effect 1. It's so bad. Oh my gosh. That is awful.
That game is genuinely a chore to play.
The graphics are terrible. The textures are ugly as crap. The sound mixing is broken. Like, there are points where when a certain song plays, and it plays like it repeats, it reuses the song. Whenever that song plays, I can barely hear what the characters are saying. And I love this game.
It's so good. It keeps getting better and better, and by the end, it's genuinely one of the best gaming experiences. It's really something else.
Oh man!
Have you encountered like the grudge monsters yet?
What, the main monsters?
No, like there's the monsters that look like the girl from The Grudge. Have you encountered those yet?
Oh yeah, the main things. They kind of walk backward.
Yeah,
and have the Heath Ledger Joker smile.
Yeah, when I first, I don't know how they look in the remake or whatever, but in the original version, they have the goofiest looking faces.
Yeah, no, the faces look pretty terrible.
I gotta find an image.
And maybe, then you get to a interactive cutscene where he's dreaming in not the Red Room from Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah, of course.
And he's with this kid, and they have to hold their breath to sneak by one because they can't see you if you hold your breath. And then they stop, and so you have to hold the button, and it like kind of moves toward them a little bit at one point, and they stop there for like a full minute, and it's just almost mugging for the camera, and it looks terrible. It's so bad. Oh my gosh. This game's amazing. I'm gonna keep playing, and then before I play Deadly Premonition 2, I'll have to watch Season 1 of True Detective, because it is not Season 1 of True Detective.
That's for certain.
So yeah, that is Twin Peaks and Deadly Premonition. I mentioned it a little bit. I'm on the final chapter of Xenoblade.
Ooh.
So
wow, I can't believe after all this time.
After all these years. The story is getting freaking amazing. Now all I have to do is just do a bunch of side quests cleanup, because the final chapter adds a bunch of side quests because of events and stuff. So I got stuff to do. I'll do some cleanup, and then I'll go in and do the final boss, and that'll be mostly it for Xenoblade, because Future Connected, the new epilogue in the definitive edition, also exists.
Yep.
And once I beat that, if I'm not completely burnt out on Xenoblade, I'll go back and do some secret bosses and stuff, because once you beat Future Connected, you unlock stuff for the main game to help out with secret bosses and stuff. Yeah. And there's stuff you can buy from the Nopon Sage, because Nopon Sage was not in the original game. Or not the Nopon Sage. Well, yeah, Nopon Sage in the time trials. Yeah, the time trial.
Yeah, the time trial stuff.
Yeah.
I did get that a try. That has been kind of fun.
Oh yeah, those are fun, especially like the regular ones where you are free to choose your party are just whatever, because you can just over level and beat them no problem.
Yeah.
But the ones
I can have Melia and Ricky so that I get a ton of buff debuff bonuses.
Yep.
Oh man, speaking of over leveling, in the darkest dungeon,
if your characters reach a certain level, you can't send them back on past
Oh
quests.
yeah, I remember
So-
that.
so
I
literally,
remember hearing about that.
if your one of your characters gets too good, you literally cannot send them to like go fight the easy bosses anymore. So it's literally the better you get, the worse your fights against the bosses are going to be, basically. Anyway, sorry, I just thought I'd interject because
Yeah.
when you said over leveling, it gave me flashbacks and PTSD.
Oh boy. Yeah, Darkest Dungeon, man. That game's nuts.
It really is.
I played a little bit of Troy: A Total War Saga.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because that released for free on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah,
Right?
it was free for the first day, and
Nice.
I played a little bit of it, and I don't know whether or not I like it, but it has the potential to be the third Total War game that I really like. Like,
Is it like the other ones, or have they changed up the gameplay?
yes and no. Okay, so here's the deal with Total War. I freaking love Medieval 2 Total War. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It scratches that itch of older PC games like early 2000s, and it's just a phenomenal game. It holds up to this day, even against other Total War games. There's stuff that it does better than even Total War games to this day. It's just a phenomenal game. I own most of the other Total War games. I've played a bunch of them, and I haven't liked any of them nearly as much as I like Medieval 2.
Huh.
Which sucks because I'll play I remember specifically I played it was either Thrones of Britannia or Rome 2. I think it was Thrones of Britannia, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. So I played a bit of Rome 2, and I was like, okay, this is fun, but I'm still not feeling it. And then I just went back and played more Medieval 2. Because it's just a great game.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
And then Empire Total War was just I didn't like it at all, what I played of it. Like, and it sucks because it's a time period I really like. It's all like the 1700s time period, and it's like pre-Napoleonic era, and it's got a big scale. It's got 3 separate maps. You have Europe, you have the Americas, and you have India. You can there's actual naval battles instead of them just being kind of auto-resolve battles. And I played a naval battle, and I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I won, okay. And then I was playing as England, and I attacked Paris, and then I took over Paris, and that meant I took over almost the entirety of France. And I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. And in the battles, I didn't know what I was doing, and I won somehow. And then I stopped playing. And I played a bit
when you get too good at a game, so you can't keep playing it.
I didn't even know what I was doing, though. But then I've played some Shogun 2, and that's a very good game. It's just not my preference, but it's one that I could see myself going back to. The other Total War game that I've liked so far is Warhammer 2, and that's because it's freaking weird and wacky. And it's just like, the appeal isn't so much like Medieval 2. The appeal is this is a very well-made game. I enjoy the time period. I enjoy the mechanics. With Warhammer 2, the appeal is more of, hey, look at this weird thing. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Look, it's a rat with a Gatling gun. It's a giant rat with a Gatling gun. And then...
That's astounding.
And then, oh wow, this faction has really weird campaign mechanics, like the Vampire Coast, which is vampire pirates.
You're talking about that.
They have a mechanic that encourages you to just play like a pirate, where you just raid coastal cities and then set up little pirate coves underneath them, so that you kind of filch money off of them.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
That is amazing.
So Troy is kind of an in-between of the historical Total War games and the fantasy Total War games. So it's trying to evoke the Iliad a bit.
Yeah.
but it like you can pray to the gods, you can you can make sacrifices to the gods and get bonuses. You can if you get like a lot of followers for a certain god, you'll get even more bonuses and things like that. And if you get them to a really high bonus, you can recruit mythical units, which is like for Poseidon, you can recruit the Cyclops and stuff. But the Cyclops is a big guy with a baby elephant skull on his head with a hole cut out to look like an eye.
Ah, I see.
So it's
So
weird.
it's not real myth. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, what if we tried to make these myths in real life?
Yeah, it's the truth behind the myth approach.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, and it mixes mechanics with like it's not like just straight historical Total War stuff. Like in a historical Total War game, your general has like is a unit in and of himself. He's not just a single guy on the battlefield. He's got his bodyguard with him, and like the only real ability he has for the most part is like he can blow his horn or trumpet to rally the troops around him and boost their morale a bit. In Troy, there's single units, so it's just a single guy. So Agamemnon is just a single guy. Achilles is just a single guy, and they fight. They have the stats to where they're better, like a better unit, better like a really good unit, and they have abilities that aren't really like the magic in Total War. Like Total War, you can throw fireballs, you can cast chain lightning and winds of death and things like that. But in Troy, it's more just buffs for your troops and maybe debuffs for your enemies, as far as I'm aware. So like you can boost movement speed and morale, you can boost the melee attack and melee defense, things like that. It's interesting, but I'll have to mess around more with it to see how much I like it. And the big thing that they did with this game is that there are no cavalry units in the game. Which
that's interesting.
Yeah, because back in the Bronze Age, most people didn't really ride horses into battle. They used chariots. So there are a few chariot units, and from what I've seen, they're kind of overpowered. But other than that, the only actual cavalry unit are centaurs, and it's just guys riding horses.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So instead, they've split infantry units into 3 different classes: light, medium, and heavy. Light infantry can run faster, like run really fast, and they're really good at flanking and have really good charge bonuses and stuff, and they can hide in tall grass. Heavy infantry have just big armor, big weapons. A lot of them can switch from using like a shield and a weapon to two-handing their weapon, so that they can focus more on damage. And then medium infantry is like in between. And so far, I've had some pretty good success with the light infantry. There's this unit called Young Spears, which is just guys in rags and holding a spear, and they just run really fast and have really good charge bonuses. So I just set up my main line, and I have them just charge behind the enemy over and over and over, and then they rack up hundreds of kills. So
that's nice. It sounds like you found the winning strategy.
I have found the winning strategy until I'm able to recruit more chariots. Yes.
Oh yeah, and then just absolutely wreck shop with those.
Yep. Chariots and missile units are apparently just kind of broken in this game so far. But yeah, that I'll have to put more time into that. And speaking of putting more time into a game, I've been playing a lot of The Sims 4.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's a forever game.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yep. There was a big old sale on DLC where the egregious prices have been brought down to not so egregious prices.
Oh, very nice.
Like there's multiple DLCs in this game that are $40.
God. Yeah, no, that definitely isn't worth it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like the content is substantial, but still $40 is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's like a game price, like a mid-sized game price.
I think the base game is actually cheaper than that.
Oh, is it?
It might be. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
That's crazy. That's how they're making all of their money off
Yep,
of all the DLC.
Well, I mean, it's EA, so
Yeah. True.
eh, eh. But yeah, that's a fun game. That's a very fun game.
Yep. A classic.
Yeah, not really a whole lot to say about it. Just, I mean, I did like the first sim I made in the game was called Rorden Gamzee. He's gonna be the greatest chef in the world.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then I was making another sim, and my brother comes up behind me, and he looks at him, and he's like, "Are you just making Rude from Final Fantasy VII?" And then I look at him, and he pulls up a picture of Rude from FF7 Remake, and I'm like, you know what? I am just making Rude from Final Fantasy VII.
Astounding.
Yes.
It's the game. The game has imprinted itself upon your brain. You can't escape it, even in The Sims.
I can't escape it. It will not be denied.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
And then I played a little bit of Fall Guys.
Oh my god, Fall Guys is so much fun.
It's so much fun.
I've been playing with my cousin. And most of the time, the team games are just so demoralizing because like you just have no control over whether or not you win or lose. It's just like, oh boy, it's time to play everybody's favorite game, which is, are all of my teammates gonna suck and help me lose or win?
Well, did we fall behind for 1 second? Well, I hope the other teams didn't notice. Otherwise, they're just gonna gang up on us for the rest of the time because it's just the lowest team that loses.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, that's absolutely brutal on the egg game. I hate the egg game. Everybody,
so much.
If you are at the bottom to start, there's basically no hope of recovery.
There is no hope. There is no hope. Give up.
Yeah.
You might as well just give up and start taunting.
Yeah. Surrender.
Yes. That's a fun game. I've yet to win.
Yeah, I've got a couple wins in that, but like that was like forever ago. Literally, I got like all of my wins before I left for vacation, which was like August 7th. And then like all the times I play after that, it's just like people have gotten too good at this game. Yep. I can't beat them anymore. Yep. I'm powerless.
Oh man, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. Still a bunch of fun though. I love getting. I played it a bunch with my cousin.
Yeah. It also sucks when you grab a tail in the team tail game and then you still lose.
Oh.
It's like
again, it's literally just those team games. They're so demoralizing.
Yep. I have literally contributed as much as I can to my team. I couldn't have done anything else, and I still lost. Thing.
Yeah, well, the devs I saw said they have the team game specifically to stop people from getting too good at the game. Because like if they have like the team games, it's like the great equalizer. Like because the most skilled Fall Guys player could still end up getting eliminated like the second round.
Yeah, but there's an achievement where you have to win 5 games in a row.
I don't know how you're supposed to be able to get it. It's impossible. I have no clue what they were thinking when they put in that achievement. It's the worst idea ever. The most I've gotten is 2. I literally got 2, and then I lost like 20 games in a row after that. I don't know how you're supposed to be able to do it.
I can't. I'm not even gonna try to achievement hunt this game.
Yeah, it'll destroy you.
Let's see. Oh, so earlier this year.
Watching anything?
What? What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I was just asking if you're watching anything, but sounds like you have something else going on.
Yeah. Earlier this year, my PS4 got hacked, or my account got hacked, and the guy set up his PS4 as the active PS4. I made it. He never turned on I didn't turn on 2-factor authentication, but he never did either. So I just got into my account again and then turned on 2-factor authentication and then changed it to where you have to put in the password every time you purchase something. So he never got anything.
Oh, well, that's probably the best you could have gotten out of that.
Yep. And I was able to refund all the games he bought, which I gotta say his taste in games is pretty terrible.
What did he buy?
Like, okay, so he bought Shadow of the Colossus, which I respect.
Yeah.
I respect that. But then he bought Knack 2.
Oh,
Freaking
Here
Knack
comes the
2.
money.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money.
He's back, baby.
Baby. Oh man, it was I couldn't believe it. But since he deactivated since he used the deactivate all devices on the PS4 thing, I couldn't reactivate my PS4 as the main PS4 on my account until 6 months had passed. So I was finally able to get that done. So
Thanks.
now I am free. I will never have to worry about him ever again.
Thank God.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I literally just turned on 2000 because basically the same thing happened to me. I didn't get hacked by anybody, but I gave my brother access to my account so that way he could download all my games.
Oh yeah.
So basically we could just share games. And then one time he tried to he was on my account for some reason playing, and so whenever I tried to get on my PS4, it kept signing me out. But I didn't know it was him at the time, so I thought somebody had gotten access to my account. So I immediately logged on to the PlayStation website and activated two-factor authentication
Yep.
specifically for that reason. Then my brother had to get my password from me again because, as it turns out, it was just him, and he lost access to all the games.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
Check it. Yeah.
You need to
I
call
can't
me
really-
every time you log into my account.
Can't really remember a time where I've been hacked because what I like to do for my passwords is basically just pick a random animal and then use the scientific name.
That's
No one's
amazing.
guessing those.
That's good. That's good. That'll work. That'll do.
I just have like a list of like what the animal is and like its common name next to it on like a list.
That is genius. Holy crap.
It's like throwing a little leet speak, throwing some random numbers in the spelling. No one's getting it.
Never.
No one is ever
Never
gonna get
getting
it. So yeah, that works well for me. I've also heard people like to use like random words in like dead languages or something,
That works too.
or obscure languages.
Everything in Latin.
Yeah.
Latin is a language as dead as can be. First it killed the
Mhm.
Romans, now it's killing me.
That's right. Oh, speaking of dead languages, I got bored, so I started learning a new language. I picked Irish Gaelic,
Oh.
which
hey,
isn't dead.
It's
yet.
technically not dead.
Yeah.
There was
Yet.
I just recently saw a video of like the one guy in Ireland who only speaks Irish Gaelic.
Yeah.
Oh, is it that one interview where they're like, what do you think about these recent events that just happened? And they put up the microphone and like he just starts talking in Gaelic and like there's not a single word anybody can understand.
Oh man. That's a wacky language, and I'm enjoying it so far, even though it's
Very useful in our modern day.
it's super
Yeah.
useless, but
You'll be able to go over to Ireland and listen to an old man tell you stories, boyo.
apparently that's, I don't know. I just got bored and thought, yeah, this would be useless. It'll be fun because it's useless.
First Irish Gaelic and then Mandarin right after that.
Yes,
Boom.
there
You
you
already
go.
knocked out one language. You could do basically the hardest one right after that. No
don't
problem.
worry
Yeah.
about it.
But you know what? First Irish Gaelic and then Klingon.
Yeah, there you go.
I go for
Very eloquent.
Klingon.
Yeah, you got to learn about that weird thing in the language that they had to add in because Christopher Lloyd mispronounced a word.
You really?
Yes.
Oh.
That's amazing.
So I watched some of the old hardcore series on PBG's channel, Peanut Butter Gamer.
Oh yeah, like the Minecraft stuff.
Yeah.
What are those videos about? I
Okay,
didn't see
so he did kind of let's plays with his friends, but the way it was like they would do Minecraft and their goal is they're gonna go and beat the Ender Dragon, but they're playing on hardcore, so if you die you're gone.
that. Oh dang.
Yeah, so it's real fun trying to see him try and survive.
Yeah, so you start out with like 6 or 7 people, and then it slowly whittles down over time.
And it gets daunting every time there's combat. It gets real stressful because this
if
could be
you
it.
die-
Especially
That's
in a
could be
game
it.
like Minecraft, where I got knocked into lava, I'm dead,
Whoopsies.
and all my stuff is gone too.
Yeah, those were
that would
fun.
suck.
Yeah,
Those are fun to watch.
He brought him back for a while, and he had a really good editor who helped to bring it back, and it was really really good.
That's awesome.
So I recommend those. I'm just gonna those are good, like, to just kind of be like junk food.
Yeah, I've been watching some one of the streamers I like play through Mario and the Origami King.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Oh.
Is this one the one that's kind of okay?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I've heard things about the ending that say like that they're never going back to Thousand Year Door kind of stuff ever again.
I haven't gotten to the ending yet.
But I don't know what it is, so
I don't know either.
But I've heard that this one is finally the kind of okay one, except it's really way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like most. Besides the Thousand Year Door, like the last one, what was the last one called? Color Splash or whatever.
Color
Splash,
Splash or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I've heard that one wasn't too difficult.
Yeah. Oh, remember Sticker Star?
Or Sticker Star, that's the one
game,
I was also
the
trying
game
to think of.
where fighting enemies is discouraged and a bad thing to do in an RPG.
Who cares about fighting enemies, right? I mean, like, it's not like a core gameplay mechanic or anything.
Ugh. Well, hopefully they'll get back on track, maybe. And
Possibly.
The last thing is I've technically been playing a crap ton of Kingdom Hearts Dark Road.
I do like the technically there. What exactly does that mean?
So let me explain. There's a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. It's called Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and it's it's a gachapon style game. So you use
you mentioned it a few months ago, and I actually started playing it.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of off in my off time. I'm like 1% through or something.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing to go. Hey, I got a few minutes. Let me bash out a few levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It's got decent combat or game. Well, gameplay, decent gameplay. And for me as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I like looking at the medals and going, this makes me feel good.
Yeah, I don't know who any of these characters are, but I'm like, the art is nice.
It is very nice. But then they came out with a game on top of the game, another game in the same app called Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, and it is a prequel to the series that takes place after the mobile game, but before the main series of games, because the mobile game is already a prequel. And
so I was wondering where the timeline lies.
Yeah, it's way prequel.
Way super early prequel.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, like there's and if you play 2.8, one of the things in 2.8 is kind of explaining some of the stuff going on in the background of the story of the mobile game. But Dark Road takes place before the main games, but after the mobile game, and it tells the backstory of the main villain of the main games.
Oh dang.
Yeah. So do not play it. It's big spoilers.
Yeah, I did have to Google it because it showed both options. I'm like, I don't know what either of this means, and I spent 5 minutes trying to Google out what do I even do?
Yeah. So I think I like the combat in this more than Union Cross, because it's more active battle instead of turn-based and taking your time. So it kind of reminds me a bit of Chain of Memories combat, the GBA game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was heavily inspired by that.
Oh.
But so it's fun, but the thing is, there's an auto mode on the game where it automatically picks the best cards, or generally the best cards in the situation, and plays them. And there's a lot of battles where you can just play endless battles, and the game is really grindy. So technically, I've been playing like hours upon hours upon hours of this game, because I've just been having my iPad sitting and playing the game, because otherwise I'm never gonna level up at any decent pace, because wow, it is grindy.
Fun. That sounds like a blast.
The story's good. The story's good. And they just recently came out with an update for more of that added more story to it. So yeah, I'll be having fun with that because it's Kingdom Hearts, and I gotta wait until the rhythm game comes out later this year, which is apparently going to be like canon and actually a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 3.
No.
Oh boy, that's a sequel to Kingdom Hearts 3? What the heck?
Hey, it's welcome to Kingdom Hearts, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know the
I thought this
timeline
was
is
Kingdom
all
Hearts,
over
not
the place.
Persona.
Oh boy.
I'm suddenly reminded of Donkey's Kingdom Hearts timeline video, where he tries to explain all of the lore, and like 99% of it is true, and it's just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like the way he explains it is not how it's presented, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
accurate. That's accurate. I really liked it when Billy Zane was the villain of the first game.
Oh my god.
I also really liked when Billy Zane showed up towards the end of Twin Peaks. Just because I like Billy Zane.
What a great guy.
What a cool guy with an awesome voice. I think that is it for me.
All right.
All right then.
Well then,
Hey, that was a lot.
This was
For
a
all of
lot. This is probably the
For all of
longest
us, collectively.
podcast that we've ever had so far.
Yeah, dang.
We are becoming
Guess we were just doing a lot of
longer and
stuff.
longer as we go. And
Yep.
Just like cut out like 5 minutes here and there. So just like random 5-minute snippets.
yeah,
And then we can release those 5 minutes in the in a lost episodes edition of the podcast years down the line.
Oh boy.
Or we could just make a highlights channel and just post the entire podcast, but cut up into 5-minute clips.
Oh my god.
There we go. That's how you
That
make
sounds-
Rake in that ad revenue.
Gotta rake it in.
Absolutely.
Gotta rake
That
it
sounds
in.
like 3
it.
million.
I gotta
subscribers.
actually get viewers first.
Well, don't worry. As the podcast gets longer and longer, just when we thought we were out,
It
it
pulls
pulls
back.
us back in.
All right then.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to this wonderful podcast. I'm sure you at least one person at some point was entertained by it.
Maybe.
Maybe. Certainly wasn't me.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I
My
missed
future
half
self.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will have to watch the podcast when you put it out to see what you guys were talking about half the time.
Well, there we go. Our one viewer. Hello, Mitchell. In the future, say hello, Mitchell.
Hang on. Giaguit, con us the tattoo.
Hey, our one viewer understood that.
That was
Yeah.
That was the most American-sounding Irish gimmick I've ever heard.
Hey man, I'm still trying.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, I'm trying my best here.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for
fun I got
listening.